Today, we're going to make a hot toddy with Earl Grey Tea. Stay tuned. Welcome to Common Man Cocktails. I'm Derrick Schommer. Today we're going to create the Earl Grey hot toddy. This is a hot toddy recipe that I kind of designed based on some of the variations I've seen on the internet. And we partnered up with Niche Imports to bring you a warm beverage for the season. So, we're going to show you how to make a hot toddy with Barenjager, bourbon, and honey liqueur. Produced by Schwarz und Schlichter, for those German fans out there. It was launched in 2012 and is available at selected stores throughout the United States. And if you want to know more, Barenjagerhoney.com is the place to be. So I'm pitting Barenjager honey bourbon against two other things that I really enjoy. Rum and Earl Grey tea. Because I love Earl Grey tea. Hot. And that was a Star Trek reference for those TNG fans. Barenjager bourbon and honey is 51% bourbon and 49% honey liqueur. Barenjager honey liqueur. And like we said before in our last hot toddy video, right up there, the hot toddy is sort of the meatball, the Bloody Mary of cocktails. Or the meatball of cocktails, since a meatball isn't a cocktail. The recipes are completely wide and varying. You could probably find 5 or 10 Earl Grey hot toddy recipes. One of the things I noticed you'll probably find in common is a lot of use of lemon. Lemon with Earl Grey works well. Now it comes down to what else you're going to pair it against. In this case, we're going to pair it against some cinnamon and some Star Anise. We don't need to bring in a lot of excessive sugars, which you typically will see in an Earl Grey or a lot of tea-based cocktails, because the bourbon and honey is handling the sweetness for us. The recipe's going to be, and I've prepared this in advance, 6 ounces of Earl Grey tea, 1 ounce of Barenjager bourbon and honey, 1 ounce of aged rum. For that, I'm using the Maison XO Jamaican because I should be on an island right now because it's kind of cold out. 1 lemon slice, 1 Star Anise, 1 cinnamon stick. So what I suggest you do in advance is you warm this up so it's nice and warm when you start to pour the ingredients in it. That way you don't end up with a drink that's kind of like a lukewarm hot toddy. Then it's not really hot toddy. So warm that in advance. Just take some of the boiling water from your tea, pour it in there for a little bit, dump it out, you're ready to go. I'm going to start with 1 ounce of our bourbon and honey. 1 ounce of our aged rum. Now I'm going to add this lemon slice in now. And then I'm going to add the hot tea on top. That way it infuses a little bit into that lemon. Metal jiggers, hot drinks, exciting times. 2. Of course, if you're at home, just top it with Earl Grey tea. You don't have to be this accurate. 4. 6. Yeah, that's fun. Cinnamon stick. Now, the cinnamon stick, within that heat, is going to start to suck out and leach some of those flavors of cinnamon. Now, it's not going to be overwhelming cinnamon because the cinnamon stick hasn't been in there for a while. If it takes you a long time to drink your hot toddy, it's going to become more cinnamon as you go. And last but not least, the Star Anise. And the reason I'm adding this last is the smell. It smells like an absinthe. There's a black licorice fennel smell to it. It's medicinal. And some people may or may not take to that very well. I enjoy it. My wife, not a huge fan. But what it does in here, and as it sits, it doesn't take long. The aroma is like the medicinal aroma coming off. So you feel like you're getting healed. And it's going to be a little bit potent. Barenjager honey and bourbon is 35% ABV, so it's not a weak beverage. Then you're bringing in your rum as well, and that's going to be about 40. So it's got all the healing you're going to need for whatever ails you. And if you have an Earl Grey that has caffeine in it, it'll help you stay awake a little bit. Or at least it'll help me stay awake a little bit. And if I just came in from plowing or snowblowing or whatever, and I'm cold, I'm going to need all the pick-me-up I can get. Now, let's give it a little bit of a taste. So you get that lemon and black licorice smell. Feels like it's going to heal me right now. And what it's really doing is cleaning out my sinuses. One of the beautiful aspects of this hot toddy is that it's mellow and it's warming. It's not too sweet. It's got a really good balance to it. It's got like a little bit of that medicinal quality and that rum to kind of give it a little bit of a backbone. And then that added sweetness from the honey and then the bourbon and a little bit of oak in there. But none of these flavors are strikingly punching you in the face, which is a huge bonus for those that are like, I don't want the astringent, like, medicine doesn't, healing shouldn't hurt. Like, you see those little witch doctors making those crazy recipes. This is much more tame. Just what you need, just a little bit of each of those components in that hot beverage. And the Earl Grey does give it a little bit of that acidic backbone where it's just not water per se, and that might be what's really filling this out, is because it's just not plain water being used and diluting it down, it's bringing in that additional flavor and a little bit of that bitterness. Now, I did have a few people ask about these mugs, because they said some of them, they've got them without the cap on them, and they really like this mug design from the Barenjager folks. If you're interested in the mug, send me an email, attach a receipt to a bottle of either the Barenjager Bourbon and Honey or the Barenjager Honey Liqueur, and we'll get you hooked up with one of these cool mugs. It's not a contest, it's really just because I got a lot of messages from folks saying, hey, where can I get one of those? And you can't purchase these. So just let me know, send me a message, dschomer@everydaydrinkers.com. And I'm doing this because that means I must write it down below. I don't know. But you guys know how to contact me by now. Stay tuned for the next Hot Toddy Tuesday. On the sidebar, you're going to see a playlist of all my Hot Toddy videos that I'm producing. You're also going to see the last video I did. In this case, it was your standard hot toddy. Check it out so you have at least 2 warm recipes this season. We're teaching you how to drink. Don't forget to like and subscribe, obviously.